Buenos días, wa sabah khair. Welcome back for another lesson from English al Español al Arabi, where we take words and phrases and translate them from English to Spanish and then to Arabic. But this morning we're going to be examining some of the most translated text in human history, and that is the first two verses from the Gospel of John from the New Testament. When I do these Bible verse videos, I always use the most popular version in each respective language, which of course in this case are the King James in English, the Reina Velera in Spanish, and the Van Dyke translation in Arabic. However, I don't necessarily recommend that people use these versions, especially if you're not an experienced Bible student or an experienced language student, as all three of these versions have very many challenges as far as vocabulary, verb forms, and even grammatical structure go. I always recommend that people use a version that's closest to their mother tongue. So, with all that in mind, from the King James Version of the Bible in English, John 1 through 2 is rendered, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God." In Spanish, we read, "En el principio era el verbo, y el verbo era con Dios, y el verbo era Dios. Este era en el principio con Dios." And in Modern Standard Arabic, from the Van Dyke translation, it is rendered, "Fil bed'i kan el kalimatu, wa el kalimatu kana عند Allah, wa kan el kalimatu Allah. هذا كان fil bed'i عند Allah." Now when we say in the beginning, in Spanish there are two ways to say beginning, the beginning. El principio, as the Bible says, and el comienzo, from the verb comenzar, to start, which corresponds with the verb to commence in English, which we'll see in a moment. Now, el principio we use in a common refrain in Spanish all the time, and it's desde un principio, from a beginning, which means from the very beginning, or from the get-go, as we would say in English. Now, in spoken Modern Standard Arabic, it's different from how it's rendered in the Bible. When we want to say in the beginning in Modern Standard Arabic, we will say fil bedaya, in the beginning in Modern Standard Arabic. Now in English we really have three verbs that are synonymous: to begin, to start, and to commence, although commence might be slightly more formal than the other two. In Spanish we have two verbs that are completely synonymous and interchangeable in their use, although empezar is used much more frequently. Empezar and comenzar, to start or to begin. Now, when we learn verbs in Modern Standard Arabic, we have to learn verbs in the past perfect form and the present indicative form to know which will be the vowel on the middle root letter. And that's very important to have full command and be able to conjugate the verb properly in all of its forms. So, he started in Arabic, or he began in Arabic, would be beda'a, one word, he began. And he starts, or he is starting, or begins, or is beginning, yabda'u. Now the number 2 always represents that glottal stop in transliteration, so it's beda'a, as if it were two words. There's a break between the second and third syllable. Beda'a. He began. Yabda'u. All present tense indicative verbs in the first form in Arabic end with the suffix u, and all past perfect verbs in the first form end with the suffix a. Well, thank you very much for viewing. I hope you learned something about how John 1 through 2 is rendered in English, Spanish, and Modern Standard Arabic. God bless you. Dios les bendiga. Allah yasalmo.